Hello, you are welcome to our lecture on chordates. Today's lecture will be on the class Mammalia. The class Mammalia, it basically consists of a group of organisms that are referred to as mammals. Now, what are mammals? Mammals are endothermic or homeothermous amniotes distinguished from reptiles and birds by the possession of hair, 3 middle ear bones, mammary glands, and a neocortex. The neocortex basically refers to a region of the brain which specializes in seeing and hearing. Now let us look at the distinctive features that have been mentioned in this definition of mammals. We have said that mammals are endothermic. Another word for endothermic means that they are homeothermous. Now, what does it mean for an organism to be endothermic? Another word for endothermic is warm-blooded. Okay. Now, an endothermic organism is an organism that is capable of regulating its internal temperature. Mammals are organisms that are capable of regulating their internal temperature. So they are distinct from the reptiles and amphibians that are poikilothermic or ectothermic. There are also amniotes. Amniotes are organisms that have an amnion, okay, in which the embryo is accommodated within an amnion that enables the embryo to survive within the mother or in an amniotic egg. Now, they are distinguished from reptiles and birds by the possession of hair. Now, reptiles and birds, the integumentary structures of the reptiles are scales and scutes, while those of birds are hairs. But the mammals possess hair instead of scales, scutes, or even feathers. And they also possess 3 middle ear bones. And they possess mammary glands, the breasts that are used for feeding their young. And mammals also possess a region of the brain that is specialized for seeing and hearing, a region that's called the neocortex. And that's not found in reptiles and birds that are also amniotes. The mammalian brain regulates body temperature and the circulatory system, including a 4-chambered heart. So the mammalian brain is able to regulate the temperature of the body. Except for 5 species of monotremes, which are egg-laying mammals, all mammals give birth to live young. That's one very important feature of mammals. Apart from the monotremes, all mammals give birth to live young ones. That's to say that they are viviparous. Viviparous organisms are organisms that give birth to live young ones. And mammals are distinguished from other organisms in having this capability. Mammals exhibit numerous adaptations that enable them to survive in a wide range of environments. They live in nearly every habitat around the Earth, around the globe, from frigid polar regions to turbulent seas to dense tropical forests. They are found virtually everywhere. Now, I want to look at the general characteristics of mammals. The general characteristics of mammals. Although various species may look drastically different, all mammals still share a unifying set of characteristics. And now I want to look at those characteristics that distinguish them from other mammals. Mammals possess hairs as integumentary structures. Hair is one of the characteristics of a mammal that is unique to mammals. It is unique only to mammals. The amphibians do not have integumentary structures. The reptiles have scales or scutes as integumentary structures. The birds have feathers. but mammals are known to possess hairs in their skin as integumentary structures. No other animals have true hair, and all mammals have hair covering at least part of their body at some time during their life. From humans down to the rats, to whales that are found in the ocean, dolphins, all of them share this very important feature. They all bear hairs. Like humans, we have hairs in our skin, in our private parts, in our head, and many other parts. The dolphins have hairs too, and the hairs are more pronounced among their young more than the adults. But they also have hairs in as whiskers and as in many other parts of their bodies. An individual hair consists of a rod of cells that are reinforced by a protein known as keratin. The hairs of mammals are reinforced by a protein that's known as keratin. So the hairs are made up of keratin. The hair grows from skin cells called follicles. The hairs of mammals grow from skin cells that are known as follicles. The next distinctive feature of mammals, or the second characteristic of mammals, is the possession of mammary glands. Mammals nurse their young with milk produced by mammary glands. And what are mammary glands? Mammary glands basically refer to the breasts that are used to breastfeed the young of mammals. Mammary glands, like hair, are uniquely mammalian traits. They're not found in any other group of organisms. Even in some organisms, like some reptiles that are viviparous, that tend to give birth to young ones alive, they lack mammary glands. So they do not feed their offsprings with mammary glands. They don't. So mammary glands are also unique to only mammals. One other unique feature of the mammals is that the lower jaw is made up of a single bone. The lower jaw of mammals is made up of a single bone. Unlike that of reptiles that has two bones and birds that are also separated, the lower jaw of the mammals is made up of a single bone in the lower jaw. Mammals differ from other vertebrates such as reptiles, birds, and amphibians in that they have a single lower jaw bone that attaches directly to the skull. So that's one very important feature. It distinguishes them from the amphibians, reptiles, and birds. Reptiles also exhibit what we call diphyodonty. Diphyodonty. And what is diphyodonty? Diphyodonty basically means a pattern of tooth replacement in animals in which the teeth are replaced only once throughout lifetime. The teeth are replaced just once throughout lifetime. Like in humans, once a child is up to 6, 7 years, the milk teeth or the deciduous teeth is replaced by the permanent teeth. So young mammals have a set of teeth that are smaller and weaker than their adult teeth. This first set of teeth, also known as the deciduous teeth, fall out and are later replaced by a set of larger permanent teeth. So all mammals exhibit this distinctive feature of being diphyodontic. They exhibit diphyodonty, in which they change their teeth just once in their lifetime. The deciduous teeth are referred to, the deciduous teeth are the first set of teeth that a mammal gets or a mammal develops. And then those deciduous teeth are then replaced by a set of permanent teeth. And it's peculiar only to mammals. Diplodonty, in contrast to Diphyodonty, is a term used to describe the pattern of teeth replacement in which teeth are continuously replaced throughout the lifetime of an animal. Toothed fishes, reptiles, and many other non-mammalian vertebrates are polyphyodontic, and they are polyphyodonts. They replace their teeth throughout their lifetime, which is in contrast to the mammals that are said to be diphyodontic. They exhibit diphyodonty. Now, this figure helps us to look at the general characteristics of mammals. We have said earlier that mammals possess hairs. Just as it is in this rat, the entire body of this mammal is covered by hairs. The mammals also possess mammary glands. Just as it's shown here, the young ones feed from the mammary glands, the breasts of the parent. They also possess uh, one jaw, though it's not shown in this figure. The lower jaw is just made up of a single bone. The lower jaw is made up of a single bone. Now, I want to also look at one distinctive feature. The body of the mammals is divided into three parts. Into four parts. The head, the neck, the trunk, and the tail, which is in contrast to the fishes that have just head, trunk, and tail. Okay, so mammals have four body regions: the head, the trunk, and the tail. And one other feature we want to look at in this figure is that mammals give birth to live young ones. They are viviparous. Mammals are viviparous. They give birth to live young ones. Okay, they are viviparous. Apart from the monotremes that are oviparous, all mammals are viviparous. They give birth to young ones alive. Mammals also possess claws in their digits, and they have 5-digit toes. The digits in their feet are 5 digits. That's in contrast with the birds and the amphibians. Like the reptiles, mammals have 5 digits in their toes, and they have either claws or fingers. They have either claws or fingers. Now, the next feature of mammals that's unique to them alone is the fact that they possess 3 middle ear bones. Mammals have a unique arrangement of 3 bones in the middle ear. These bones include the incus, the malleus, and the stapes. And these bones are commonly referred to as hammer, anvil, or stirrup. Hammer, anvil, or stirrup. And these bones are unique to mammals. No other animal group has 3 bones in the middle ear. The middle ear bones transmit sound vibrations from the tympanic membrane or eardrum to the inner ear and transform them into neural impulses. So the middle ear bones, the function of the middle ear bones is to transmit sound vibrations. The middle ear bones transmit sound vibrations from the tympanic membrane or the eardrum to the inner ear and transform them into neural impulses. Now here is a figure that's showing the external and internal anatomy of human ear that's also showing the 3 middle ear bones. Now here are the 3 middle ear bones. The 3 middle ear bones. We have the malleus, the incus, and the stapes. The 3 middle ear bones. Okay, we have the malleus, the incus, and the stapes. Mammals are also unique in that they exhibit endothermy or homeothermy. Mammals are endothermic, or they are said to be homeothermos, which means they are capable of regulating their own body temperatures so that it remains at a relatively constant temperature, regardless of the temperature of the surrounding environment. That's a very distinctive feature of mammals. Birds and mammals are the only endothermic classes in this subphylum Vertebrata. So that's one unique feature of the mammals, in that they are endothermic. They are able to regulate their internal temperatures. Mammals are also unique in that they possess a diaphragm. A diaphragm. The diaphragm is a layer of muscle located at the base of the rib cage that separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity in mammals. The diaphragm basically refers to a layer of muscles. It is located at the base of the rib cage, and it separates the thoracic cavity, that's the region around the chest, from the abdominal cavity, the abdomen. Okay, it separates the lower part of the ribs from the abdominal cavity that accommodates the stomach, the intestines, the liver, the pancreas, and other organs. Mammals also possess a four-chambered heart. Mammals also possess a four-chambered heart. They have a muscular four-chambered heart that, that contracts repeatedly to pump blood throughout the body's blood vessels. The structure of a four-chambered heart differs greatly. The structure of the four-chambered heart offers great efficiency than the 3 and 2 four-chambered heart structures. Now, one thing we have to note is that some mammal characteristics, such as the hair, mammary glands, and 3 specialized middle ear bones, are shared by no other groups of animals. The fact that mammals, these 3 features, the possession of hair, the possession of mammary glands, and the 3 middle ear bones, are peculiar or unique to only the mammals. Every other feature is being shared by some other groups of mammals. For instance, the fact that they are viviparous is also being shared by some reptiles and some birds. And the fact that they give back to live young ones is also being shared by some other viviparous reptiles and other groups. So mammals, these 3 distinctive features, the possession of hair, the possession of mammary glands, and the possession of 3 specialized middle ear bones, distinguishes mammals from other groups. They are unique to mammals. Most mammals share several other traits. The traits in the following list are typical of, but not necessarily unique to mammals. Now, one feature that mammals can also share, but are not unique only to mammals, is that the skin of many mammals is covered with sweat glands. The glands produce sweat, a salty fluid that helps to cool the body. Okay, the sweat glands of the mammals produce sweat. Mammals also carry out respiration through the lungs. Respiration in mammals is by the lungs. Mammalian lungs have millions of tiny hair sacs called alveoli. They provide a very large surface area for gas exchange. The alveoli provide a large surface area for gas exchange. The brain of the mammal is relatively large and has a covering called the neocortex, which specializes in seeing and hearing. Mammals are heterodomes. they have 4 different types of teeth. The 4 different types of teeth of the mammals are the incisors, the canines, the premolars, and the molars. The teeth of other mammals, in contrast, are all alike. But mammals have 4 different types of teeth: the incus, the canines, the premolars, and the molars. The coelom of mammals is divided into 4 cavities. The coelom is divided into a pericardial cavity, which lodges the heart, which accommodates the heart. Then 2 pleural cavities, which are responsible for containing the lungs. Then an abdominal or peritoneal cavity, which is having the stomach, the liver, pancreas, and intestines, as well as the pelvic cavity, which contains our reproductive organs, the region around the hips. Now here is a figure that's showing the various cavities. The coelom of the mammals have these 4 cavities. The pericardial cavity. The pericardial cavity accommodates the heart. The peritoneal cavity accommodates a pair of lungs. Then we also have the abdominal cavity, which accommodates the stomach, the intestines, the liver, the pancreas, and other organs. And then we have the pelvic cavity that accommodates the reproductive organs. Now, the coelom is divided into 2 major parts. We have the thoracic cavity, here at the region around the chest, and we have the abdominal pelvic cavity, which is divided into the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity. The thoracic cavity is divided into the pleural cavity and the peritoneal cavity. There's also the mediastinal cavity in humans. There's also another cavity which accommodates the brain, and it's called the cranial cavity. We also have the vertebral cavity, which accommodates the spinal cord. So that's how much we can take on this lecture. Thanks for listening.